Hello, my name is Rich Colbert, Field CTO for Dell Data Protection. The topic of this presentation is how does Dell Technologies offer a low-cost data protection solution? Today, organizations are experiencing rapid data growth and diversification. Therefore, effectively managing the cost of data protection has become a priority. Data now spans the edge, the core, and the cloud across a multitude of applications and platforms. And in response, organizations are deploying and extending data protection solutions to protect that data and those applications where they reside. The saying that you get what you pay for still holds true, but in the multi-cloud world, it is probably more accurate to say you pay for what you get. In other words, consumption is rapidly becoming a leading factor in determining the costs associated with data protection. That leads us to the key point for our conversation today. Architecture matters. It's not a new concept. Technology innovation and progress has always placed a premium on developing superior architecture. But this is no longer an engineering conversation about building a better mousetrap. Architecture has a direct impact on consumption, and consumption is a leading factor in cost, along with a whole list of additional business values. What this means is that architecture is now a business conversation. And as such, there is additional focus applied to making the business case. It's no longer acceptable to simply compete with academic arguments in the marketplace of ideas. Architecture conversations need to be tied to measurable outcomes with validated metrics that impact the bottom line. These are the 4 pillars of the Dell Data Protection Strategy that are the keys to our architectural advantage. The first is highly differentiated deduplication. Not all dedupe is created equal. And in this category, being second best simply isn't good enough. The second is distributed deduplication, also known as DD Boost. This innovative and unique approach to protection storage provides numerous benefits that we will cover in some detail. The third is our storage appliance architecture known as SISL, or Stream-Informed Segment Layout. This is our secret sauce to provide industry-leading performance and scale. Fourth, and finally, is our data and vulnerability architecture. At Dell, we haven't lost sight of the fact that it isn't just about managing data. It's about protecting data. When we say deduplication, we're really talking about compounded data reduction. Data deduplication and compression work together to reduce the amount of usable capacity required to store protection data. With daily backups retained for typically 30 days or more, data protection requires many logical copies of very similar data. In fact, protection copies can account for up to 95% of an organization's entire data storage footprint. So efficiency is the key to driving down the associated costs. Based on proven data domain technology, Dell's deduplication is inline with variable segments. Inline is important because it eliminates the need for a landing zone, which reduces the storage required in half right off the top. Variable length segments are even more important, and the smaller the segment size, the better. Our segment size is an average length of 8 kilobytes. Variable segments encapsulate changes in the data patterns to allow the system to find duplicate data, regardless of whether that data has been copied, appended, or even updated somewhere in the middle. And this algorithmic approach works well for both structured and unstructured data. But what matters to the business are the results, and how does that compare to the industry? Dell's technology is typically anywhere from 30% to 3 times more efficient than alternative solutions. And I'm making a direct and practical comparison. I'm talking about the basic question of how much usable storage is consumed and how much network traffic is generated to back up and replicate the data. What does that mean for the business? It means that Dell can protect your data using a right-size solution that requires significantly less storage and less bandwidth than the alternatives. And now take that one step further. What about the cloud, where you pay for your cloud provider for that storage consumption and that network bandwidth every single month? Protection storage on premises generally accounts for anywhere from 8 to 20% of an organization's total storage spend. But organizations who use ineffective data protection in the cloud can see those costs skyrocket to over 50% of their cloud infrastructure consumption costs. Dell Data Protection can reduce that exorbitant level of cloud spending dramatically. That is why effective data reduction matters. And that is why Dell Data Protection customers are protecting over 4 exabytes of data in the public cloud today. But no matter how effective your deduplication is, you give up almost all of the real benefits if you still have to send 100% of your data over NFS every time you back up. Backup execution can be broken down into 3 logical steps: process data, send data, and store data. When deduplication happens at the storage device, the upstream processing of sending and storing data is unchanged. And that is a whole lot of data to sift through and send across the wire every single day. A number of alternative solutions still use plain old NFS as a data transport. But distributed deduplication is a powerful innovation that takes the task of identifying unique data and moves it closer to the data source so that far less data is processed or sent in the first place. We call this technology ddBoost. ddBoost is an embedded technology, and it can be found in all sorts of places. ddBoost can be found embedded in backup agents, both provided by Dell and by a number of third-party ddBoost partners. ddBoost can be embedded in VMware infrastructure, leveraging VADP and bringing source deduplication directly into the virtual infrastructure. ddBoost is also deployed inside database backup utilities like Oracle RMAN or Microsoft SQL Management Studio and many others to bring the power of source deduplication to DBAs and application owners. ddBoost can also be embedded in Linux and Windows file systems so that modern application backup tools can take advantage of distributed deduplication simply by utilizing their basic file export utilities for backup and recovery. So, what are the benefits of deploying ddBoost? The first is faster backups. Backups using ddBoost can complete in about half the time compared to backups that send all the data to the target. The second is network utilization. ddBoost reduces backup traffic on the network by as much as 98%. Third is the performance of the backup storage itself. Many hands make light work, and therefore by offloading a little bit of work to hundreds or even thousands of backup clients, the overall performance of the data protection storage can nearly double when using ddBoost. And the performance implication of running ddBoost at the client is also significantly less than running a normal backup. And possibly the biggest payout is eliminating data movers. ddBoost sends data from the client directly to the storage device, eliminating the complexity and the expense of running multiple backup servers to act as middlemen between the client and the protection storage. The impact to the business is tremendous cost savings on infrastructure. And there are also benefits to people and process. By enabling application backup utilities and elevating them to equal standing with central backup agents, organizations can share the work of backing up between the central IT folks and the application owners. And once again, many hands make light work. But the impact goes beyond the division of labor. Oftentimes, application teams are already doing their own backups to expensive primary storage, and then IT comes along and sweeps up those backups in an unreliable and redundant dump and sweep process. Organizations can now reclaim all of that primary storage and eliminate dump and sweep while maintaining application owners' ability to do self-service backups and restores. Backup and recovery stresses a storage system in a totally different way than a typical storage array. Primary storage is sensitive to latency and IOPS. Protection storage requires higher stream counts and greater effective throughput. Protection storage targets can expect to see hundreds or even thousands of high-speed write streams at the same time. Dell Protection Storage, powered by Data Domain Technology, is built with a unique set of attributes that we collectively call SISL, or the Stream-Informed Segment Layout. The first challenge this architecture addresses is performance. SISL is a log-structured file system that is append-only. This allows alignment with the underlying physical storage so that data is only read or written in full stripes. This also means no expensive data insert or update operations and no parity recalculations. The second challenge this architecture addresses is caching. In a normal array, caching applies to data that has been recently seen. However, in backup, and especially with deduplication, there's little to no benefit to caching recent data. Instead, it is far more valuable to prefetch data that the system is about to see again. This is the magic that makes high-speed inbound streams possible. With deduplication, the key to performance is the ability to decide quickly what to do with the data. Is it unique data that needs to be stored to disk, or is it duplicate data that can be referenced with a simple pointer? It turns out that the first question can be answered much more quickly than the second one. Once the system gets the slightest hint that a data segment is unique, it can stop comparing and start writing. It's the duplicate data that needs to be rigorously validated before determining that a simple pointer is actually appropriate. The Sizzle architecture uses some very clever memory structures to keep track of what's what, because while it is impossible to keep all of the data signatures in RAM, it is also incredibly slow to keep looking for them on storage. The innovative architectural approach employed by Sizzle is the main reason why the data domain platform has been able to hold its position at the top of the protection storage market, both in terms of performance and scale. But being purpose-built is not limited to a physical appliance. Data Domain Virtual Edition takes the architectural enhancements even further. Storage in the public cloud is very different from storage on premises. On-prem, block storage can be constructed with as much performance and resiliency as you want. But in the cloud, the public storage cloud providers have made object storage more affordable and more resilient than their block storage offerings. Data Domain Virtual Edition in the public cloud uses intelligent data placement to take advantage of the lower cost and higher resiliency of object storage, while also using a minimal amount of block storage when it provides a performance advantage. All the while, Data Domain Virtual Edition maintains the same effective deduplication that it provides on premises in order to maximize the efficiency and performance of your cloud solution. Last, and certainly not least, is the idea of the storage of last resort. Protection storage has an implied responsibility for data integrity and durability. If you are recovering data from protection storage, it just might be the last copy of that data that exists anywhere in the world. Dell Data Protection Storage has a group of native capabilities that we call the Data Invulnerability Architecture, or DIA. A number of these capabilities are a natural extension of the Sizzle architecture we just described. The data domain file system, which again is a log-structured file system, is append-only. Aside from the performance benefits, this also protects existing data from ever being changed by new data. Data is never overwritten, but instead is cleaned through an asynchronous garbage collection process. The file system is self-healing and provides continuous validation. Data is stored with strong checksums, and the file system performs read-after-write verification to ensure that data was stored correctly. Data in flight is also protected in NVRAM while awaiting write confirmation, so that any data that has been acknowledged by the system to the client is fully protected. The data domain file system is unique in that it validates 100% of the data it receives, but that's just the beginning. The file system is constantly scrubbed in search of data errors, and due to the strong checksums, if any errors are found, they can be corrected. And most importantly, when data is read from the system, either as part of a restore, or as it's being replicated to another system, or copied to another storage medium, the data is once again validated and can be corrected on the fly if needed. The data domain file system also has some advanced security features. It has 2 levels of retention lock, which provide immutability and allows for the system to prevent accidental or malicious deletion of data. Data domain systems also allow the creation of a security officer user to prevent sysadmins or root users from deleting data without authorization from an independent authority. Also, cybersecurity is top of mind for many organizations today. And that is why we offer an enhanced solution called PowerProtect Cyber Recovery. With PowerProtect Cyber Recovery, we provide an air-gapped cyber vault that includes industry-leading capabilities to isolate, detect, and recover from a malicious cyber attack or insider threat. PowerProtect Cyber Recovery includes machine learning, data entropy detection, automated immutability, and nearly 200 powerful analytics to ensure your most valuable data is recoverable. Dell's PowerProtect Cyber Recovery is the only solution certified by the Sheltered Harbor Organization, the gold standard in financial information security best practices. Collectively, Dell views data protection storage as the storage of last resort. It has a special responsibility to ensure your data is safe and secure. When it comes to data protection, architecture matters now more than ever. Dell's unique data protection solutions provide unparalleled efficiency, scale, performance, and resiliency. Two of the leading factors driving unexpected and additional cost to a data protection solution are running out of capacity and exceeding backup windows. I talked to many organizations who chose a solution based on a very compelling sales story, only to be surprised by the need to buy more capacity and more performance a very short while later, or to be surprised by an unexpectedly high cloud bill at the end of the month. At Dell, we want to help you avoid the hamster wheel of continuous and unexpected data protection expenditure. So we offer a solution that will be sized right the first time and that will truly deliver a predictable outcome with the lowest cost to serve. So most importantly, thank you. Thank you for stopping by and hearing about how Dell offers a low-cost data protection solution. We have a number of data protection sessions at this year's VMworld, and please check out as many of them as you can and as your schedule allows. We've got a few very exciting announcements, and I can't wait for us to share them. So have a great VMworld 2020, and let's keep your data safer together.